Imagine a small town where everyone knows each other. One day, two friends, Sam and Jake, had a misunderstanding that found them in a heated argument. It all started when Sam borrowed Jake's bike without asking, and when it came back with a scratch, a friendship that once shone brightly was suddenly clouded with anger and hurt feelings. They began to avoid each other in the school hallways, their laughter replaced by silence and cold stares. This situation resonates with many of us. Conflicts happen every day in our lives, between friends, family members, or even co-workers. Sometimes these disagreements grow like weeds in a garden, making it hard for love and friendship to bloom. We find ourselves longing for peace but unsure how to restore it. This reminds me of something powerful that Jesus said, "Blessed are the peacemakers." These words ripple through time and encourage us to seek peace even amidst strife. But what did he really mean by being a peacemaker? Was it about avoiding conflict at all costs or something deeper? Picture this: one day, Sam looked out of his window and saw Jake sitting alone on the swing, looking sad. In that moment, he felt a tug at his heart. He realized how much their friendship meant to him and that carrying resentment only made things worse. Gathering courage, Sam decided to walk over to Jake and apologize for borrowing the bike without asking. This is where peacemaking begins, not just saying sorry but genuinely wanting to mend what's broken. According to Jesus, peacemakers are those who actively bring harmony into their relationships instead of letting division grow. He lived in a time when tension was high among various groups, much like we experience today. His message was not just for them, it's relevant now as well. By choosing to make amends, Sam was stepping into the role of a peacemaker. Instead of clinging to his pride or wishing for things to magically return to normal, he took action rooted in love and respect for his friends' feelings. The biblical context teaches us that blessedness comes from creating peace. This isn't always easy or comfortable, it requires courage. As you reflect on your own life today, think about the conflicts you might be experiencing. Are there friendships that need healing? Moments where you can step in as a peacemaker. Becoming one may require effort but brings true blessing, not just for others but for yourself as well. So next time you face conflict or see someone struggling around you, remember the powerful words of Jesus, "Blessed are the peacemakers." Embrace your role in bringing peace into the world and watch how it transforms not only your life but also the lives of those around you. As Sam took a deep breath and approached Jake, he remembered a powerful teaching from Jesus, "Blessed are the peacemakers." This phrase comes from the Sermon on the Mount, a collection of teachings that encapsulate some of Jesus' most important messages. But what does it really mean to be a peacemaker, and why is it so significant? The Sermon on the Mount was spoken during a time when people were facing great turmoil. The Jewish community was under Roman rule, leading to widespread fear and division. Amid this unrest, Jesus offered hope and guidance, urging everyone to embrace values that reflect love, kindness, and unity. When he declared, "Blessed are the peacemakers," he wasn't just offering kind words, he was inviting people to actively work toward peace and reconciliation. But let's break this down. What is a peacemaker? It's not just someone who avoids conflict or tries to keep things calm. A true peacemaker goes beyond that. They seek to heal broken relationships and foster understanding among people. They take steps to mend what is torn apart, just like Sam was trying to do by reaching out to Jake. Imagine for a moment what the world would be like if more people embraced this role. Think about your own life. How often do you see conflicts arise? Whether it's in friendships, family dynamics, or even at school or work, tensions can easily escalate. The call to be a peacemaker is more relevant now than ever. Jesus knew that without efforts for peace, bitterness and resentment could easily take root in our hearts. When we hear "blessed," it's important to understand what this means in terms of happiness and fulfillment. Jesus promises that those who strive for peace will find joy and blessings not only for themselves but also for others. It's about creating a ripple effect where kindness and compassion spread far beyond our immediate circles. As Sam took that first step toward Jake, he was embodying the spirit of Jesus' teaching. His decision to apologize was not just about fixing a friendship, it was an act of courage that sent a message that peace is possible. This act inspires us all to think about how we can make the same choice in our lives. Now, I invite you to reflect on your own relationships. Are there moments where you can step into the role of a peacemaker? It may require you to reach out and take action, just like Sam did. Remember, these small gestures can lead to greater harmony, both in your heart and in your community. So next time you're faced with conflict or witness division around you, remember those words of Jesus, "Blessed are the peacemakers." Embrace the chance to create peace, knowing you are forging connections that bring light into the world. As Sam gathered his courage to speak with Jake, it's important to understand the profound context behind the teachings of Jesus, especially the Beatitudes, which include, "Blessed are the peacemakers." To really grasp the significance of these words, we need to travel back to a time long ago, over 2,000 years in fact, when Jesus was speaking to a crowd in Galilee. The world at that time was filled with unrest and turmoil. The Jewish people found themselves under Roman rule, living in a society marked by oppression and fear. They were struggling against heavy taxes and harsh treatment, which created deep divisions among communities. Many were searching for hope and longing for change, feeling distraught and disconnected from each other. Imagine standing in that crowd, surrounded by people who felt hopeless and anxious about their future. They listened attentively as Jesus spoke from a hillside, knowing that his words could offer them reassurance and guidance. He didn't just address their physical struggles, he spoke directly to their hearts and spirits. Among his powerful teachings were the Beatitudes, which provided a new perspective on life amid challenges. When Jesus said, "Blessed are the peacemakers," his audience was likely taken aback. In a world where conflict seemed inevitable and peace felt out of reach, he was inviting them into something radical. Rather than promoting violence or retaliation, he encouraged them to think about how they could be instruments of peace in their community. This was revolutionary. Being a peacemaker during this tumultuous time meant taking risks. Jesus called on his followers to step beyond their fears and prejudices and reach out to one another with love and compassion. He understood that true peace is built through relationships, not just the absence of conflict but actively creating harmony among individuals who were divided. This message of peace is not confined to history, it resonates today more than ever. In our own lives, we often face divisions, between friends, family members, even within our communities, and we can feel overwhelmed by discord. When we consider the historical context of Jesus' teachings, we're reminded that seeking peace amidst chaos is both a challenge and an opportunity. As Sam prepares to apologize to Jake, he embodies the spirit of peacemaking that Jesus taught so long ago. He understands that being a peacemaker requires vulnerability, acknowledging mistakes while opening up pathways for healing. Now think about your own life. Who do you see struggling with conflict? What small steps can you take to promote understanding? Remembering Jesus' teachings can inspire us all to embrace our role as peacemakers in a world that desperately needs it. So let these words resonate within you. Blessed are the peacemakers. In choosing kindness over anger, we can become part of something greater, a movement toward unity and love for one another. Let's take action where we can. Let's be those who not only seek peace for ourselves but also spread it throughout our communities. As Sam stood before Jake, preparing to apologize, he began to reflect on what it truly means to be a peacemaker. The term might sound simple enough, but there's a significant difference between being a peacemaker and merely a peacekeeper. Understanding this distinction is vital, especially in today's world where conflicts arise so easily. A peacekeeper often tries to maintain a sense of calm or avoid confrontation altogether. They may choose to keep the peace by ignoring problems or acting as if everything is fine on the surface. In many cases, they might step in during an argument just to stop it without addressing the underlying issues. While their intentions can be good, wanting harmony and avoiding conflict, they may inadvertently allow the real problems to fester beneath that calm exterior. On the other hand, a true peacemaker goes deeper. A peacemaker actively seeks to resolve conflicts and heal relationships. They're not afraid of uncomfortable conversations because they understand that true peace requires confronting difficult emotions and discussing varying perspectives. This means listening, empathizing, and often taking personal responsibility for one's part in any disagreement. Think of Sam as he decides to reach out to Jake. He isn't just trying to ease the tension of their situation, he genuinely wants to mend their friendship. He recognizes that it's important to address what happened so that they can move forward together. This act of vulnerability is what sets peacemakers apart. They courageously seek connection and understanding rather than shying away from confrontation. Peacemakers also embody qualities such as empathy, forgiveness, and patience. They strive not only for peace in their own lives but also encourage others around them to embrace these values. When Jesus spoke about blessedness in being a peacemaker, he highlighted these attributes because they lead to healing in not just individual relationships but entire communities. Imagine living in a world filled with more peacemakers, where people actively work towards resolving issues rather than letting them build up into bigger problems. The ripple effect this could create would spark kindness and compassion everywhere. As we think about our own lives, consider this: who are the peacekeepers around you? How can you shift from being just a peacekeeper into becoming a true peacemaker? It's not always easy, it requires strength and resilience, but brings profound rewards. So next time you find yourself caught in conflict, remember that Jesus calls us all to be peacemakers, not just for ourselves but for those around us as well. When we choose understanding over anger and reconciliation over division, we honor his teaching and contribute positively to our world. Embrace the challenge of being a peacemaker like Sam, step out in faith and love toward others with the hope of creating meaningful connections that endure through life's trials. In doing so, let us all recognize how blessed we are when we commit ourselves to this beautiful act of bringing peace into our lives and the lives of others. As Sam stood before Jake, ready to make amends, it's clear that true peacemaking has deep roots in biblical stories that showcase how individuals navigated conflicts with compassion and courage. Throughout the Bible, we find powerful examples of peacemakers who demonstrated what it means to seek healing and understanding. One prominent figure is David, who became king of Israel after a tumultuous rise to power. Before he wore the crown, David faced many conflicts, especially with King Saul, who viewed him as a threat. Despite being pursued and unfairly treated, David chose not to retaliate against Saul. Instead, he respected Saul's position and sought peace whenever he had the chance. In one pivotal moment, when David had the opportunity to harm Saul, he chose instead to spare his life. This act of mercy demonstrated profound respect for Saul and underscored David's commitment to honor God's choice for leadership over personal revenge. David understood that true strength lies in reconciling rather than retaliating. Another remarkable example is found in the story of Solomon, David's son, known for his wisdom. When two women came to him with a dispute over a baby, each claiming to be the mother, Solomon employed a clever method to reveal the truth. He proposed to cut the baby in half so each woman could have a share. The real mother immediately offered to give up her claim to save her child's life. Solomon's wise decision not only resolved the conflict but also highlighted the power of love and selflessness in fostering peace. Now let's turn our attention to Jesus himself. He is perhaps the ultimate example of peacemaking. Throughout his ministry, Jesus interacted with people from all walks of life, often confronting tensions head-on. One memorable moment is when he spoke with the Samaritan woman at the well. Jews and Samaritans typically avoided each other due to long-standing animosities. Yet Jesus engaged her in conversation, breaking social barriers and offering her grace and acceptance. He saw beyond cultural divides and chose connection over conflict, embodying his message of reconciliation. These biblical narratives remind us that peacemaking often requires bravery and vulnerability. Just like David and Solomon, we can choose paths that foster understanding and compassion instead of division. When Sam reaches out to Jake, he follows in their footsteps by embracing the principles of love and forgiveness. As you reflect on these stories, consider how they apply to your own life today. Are there conflicts in your world that could benefit from a peacemaker's touch? Perhaps it's time to let go of grudges or misunderstandings and actively seek ways to connect with others. Remember that being a peacemaker isn't always easy, it often calls for courage and honesty. But just as Jesus promised blessings for those who work towards peace, you too can find fulfillment in fostering harmony in your relationships. Let these examples inspire you to take steps toward becoming a peacemaker in your own life, encouraging unity and love wherever you go. As Sam took a step closer to Jake, he realized that being a peacemaker isn't just about big gestures, it often starts with small, everyday actions. We can all apply the message of peacemaking in our lives in practical ways, fostering understanding and healing in our relationships. Let's consider some relatable scenarios. Imagine you're at school or work, and you notice tension brewing between two classmates or colleagues. Instead of staying out of it, think about how you could step in with kindness. You might invite both people to share their feelings over a lunch break. By facilitating a calm conversation, you encourage them to see each other's perspectives and find common ground. This embodies the spirit of peacemaking, creating a safe space for open dialogue. Now let's shift the focus to family life. Conflicts can easily arise at home, whether it's siblings bickering over chores or misunderstandings with parents. If you find yourself in a disagreement with your brother or sister, take a moment to pause before reacting in anger. Instead of letting emotions take control, be courageous like David and choose to reach out first. A simple, "I'm sorry" or "Can we talk about this?" can pave the way toward resolution and reconnecting with loved ones. What about friendships? Think of a time when you had a misunderstanding with a friend. Maybe they said something hurtful without realizing it, or perhaps there was gossip that created distance between you two. Instead of avoiding each other, be brave enough to initiate a conversation. Share your feelings honestly and listen actively to their side as well. Just like Sam did with Jake, by showing vulnerability and expressing how much the friendship means to you, you open doors for healing. In all these situations, remember that being a peacemaker requires empathy and patience. It means putting yourself in someone else's shoes and recognizing that everyone has struggles that might not be visible on the surface. Peacemakers understand that conflicts are opportunities for growth if approached thoughtfully. Moreover, consider extending kindness beyond personal relationships. Maybe you're part of a community organization or sports team where tensions arise during competitive times. Embrace the spirit of Jesus' teaching by encouraging teammates or community members to lift each other up instead of tearing each other down. Celebrate each other's successes and support one another through challenges. The beautiful thing about peacemaking is that it's contagious. When you take steps towards creating harmony, others are likely to follow your lead, spreading kindness like ripples across water. So as Sam continues on his journey toward reconciling with Jake, reflect on your own life. How can you embody these principles of peacemaking today? Whether it's reaching out after an argument, facilitating conversations among friends, or promoting understanding in your community, every action counts. Remember that Jesus promised blessings for those who make peace. In choosing love over division and connection over conflict, we cultivate an environment where everyone can thrive together. Let us all strive to be peacemakers in our daily lives, one small step at a time, and watch how these efforts transform not only our relationships but also the world around us into a more harmonious place. As Sam prepares to reach out to Jake and mend their friendship, he feels a mix of hope and anxiety. This moment reminds us not only of the beauty in peacemaking but also the real struggles that often come with it. Being a peacemaker isn't always easy. It requires courage, vulnerability, and sometimes the willingness to face confrontations that make us uncomfortable. Let's take a closer look at some common obstacles people might encounter on their journey to becoming peacemakers. One major hurdle is the fear of confrontation. Many of us worry about facing someone who might react negatively when we bring up a disagreement or express our feelings. It's natural to want to avoid conflict, especially if it's something we expect might lead to more tension. However, avoiding these conversations can lead to misunderstandings that fester over time, creating even bigger rifts in our relationships. Picture this: you're anxious about addressing a problem with a friend or a family member. You might think, what if they don't listen? What if they get angry? These fears can be paralyzing, preventing us from taking that initial step towards reconciliation. But Jesus teaches us to embrace the challenge of confronting conflict with love and grace. He showed us that honest, respectful dialogue can pave the way for healing, making room for understanding despite our fears. Another struggle we often encounter is feeling overwhelmed by negativity around us. In today's world, we see so much division and strife in our communities and even on social media. It can feel disheartening and make you question whether your efforts as a peacemaker will even matter. When surrounded by negativity, we may wonder how one person's actions can create any real change. However, it's essential to remember that every small act of kindness contributes to a greater movement toward peace. Think of Sam as he wrestles with doubts while planning his conversation with Jake. He might think to himself, what if he doesn't forgive me? Yet, even amidst uncertainty, Sam recognizes that making the effort to reach out is what truly matters. He understands that engaging with each other's pain and humanity can lead to healing not just for one relationship but can inspire others in their circle to do the same. Furthermore, being a peacemaker also requires us to nurture patience, both with ourselves and others. Everyone has their struggles and reasons for acting the way they do, which means sometimes we may need to give others time to process their feelings. This patience is rooted in empathy and understanding. As you consider your own life, take a moment to reflect: are there conflicts you've shied away from? Embracing your role as a peacemaker means facing these challenges head-on, despite your fears and amid negativity. Choose courage over complacency, knowing that your willingness to engage in tough conversations can lead to meaningful connections and transformations. In the end, let these struggles not deter you but instead empower you to be a beacon of hope and love in your community. Remember the promise Jesus gave: blessed are the peacemakers. No matter how daunting the path may seem, each step you take toward reconciliation counts. Together, let's work through our fears and strive for peace, because every effort matters in creating a more compassionate world. As Sam stands ready to apologize and mend his friendship with Jake, it's vital to remember that peacemaking begins with action. Each of us has the ability to contribute to a more peaceful world through simple yet meaningful steps we can take today. So how can we embody the spirit of a peacemaker in our daily lives? Let's explore some practical ways you can make a difference. First, start with small acts of kindness. It could be something as simple as greeting someone with a smile or asking a friend how their day is going. These small gestures create an atmosphere of warmth and openness. When people feel valued and respected, they are more likely to respond positively and engage in meaningful conversations. Next, consider the power of listening. Active listening is a crucial element of peacemaking. When someone approaches you with a concern or disagreement, take the time to genuinely hear them out. Put away distractions and focus on their words without immediately forming your response. By making others feel truly heard, you foster deeper understanding and connection. This not only helps resolve conflicts but also encourages others to do the same. Another way to promote peace is by being the one who initiates difficult conversations. If you sense tension with a friend or family member, don't shy away from addressing it. Choose an appropriate time and place where both of you can discuss the issue calmly. Speak from your heart, expressing how their actions or words made you feel, while also inviting them to share their perspective. Remember that vulnerability often invites vulnerability in return. Your courage might encourage them to open up as well. Additionally, reflect on how you interact online and in social spaces. In today's digital age, negativity can spread easily through comments or messages on social media. Instead of engaging in arguments or adding fuel to disagreements, choose to promote positivity and understanding in these spaces. Share uplifting messages, offer support to those who are struggling, or even step in when you see others being unkind. Moreover, think about ways you can extend your influence beyond personal relationships into your community. Join local organizations or volunteer for causes that promote unity and compassion. By working together toward common goals, we can inspire others and demonstrate what it looks like to live out Jesus' message of peace. As Sam prepares for his conversation with Jake, he remembers that every act counts, no matter how small, and that by taking bold steps toward peacemaking, he can help build bridges instead of walls. Now ask yourself, what opportunities for peacemaking can you embrace today? Whether it's reaching out after an argument or simply being more mindful in your interactions with others, each effort contributes to creating a kinder world. Jesus taught us that, "Blessed are the peacemakers," reminding us that every action taken in the name of peace is significant. When we choose kindness and understanding over conflict and division, we begin to change the world around us, one step at a time. So let's commit ourselves today to be agents of peace wherever we go. Together, through our actions and willingness to connect authentically with one another, we can cultivate harmony within our families, friendships, and communities, spreading light in a world that desperately needs it. Remember, every small act matters. As Sam stands at the crossroads of his friendship with Jake, ready to bridge the gap that misunderstanding created, we are reminded of the emotional depth involved in peacemaking. It's not just about words or actions, it's about the heartfelt desire to connect with another person. This moment is an invitation for all of us to pause and reflect on our own lives. How can we embody the spirit of peacemaking within our communities? Think for a moment about your own experiences. Have you ever felt a rift grow between you and someone you care about? Maybe it was a small disagreement that spiraled into silence, or perhaps it was a misunderstanding that left both sides feeling hurt. In those moments, it can be easy to retreat into our own emotions, allowing pride or fear to dictate our actions. But Jesus calls us to something greater. He encourages us to take that brave step towards reconciliation. Imagine how powerful it would be if each one of us took the initiative to mend relationships, even in small ways. Picture reaching out to someone in your life who might need a listening ear or a heartfelt apology. It doesn't have to be an earth-shattering gesture. Sometimes, it's simply sending a text or having a candid conversation over coffee. Just think about how that simple act could transform not only your day but also theirs. Now consider the broader implications of your actions. In a world where negativity often seems to dominate the news and social media feeds, you have the power to be a beacon of hope, an agent of peace. When you choose to approach situations with empathy and understanding, you inspire those around you to do the same. Your efforts can create a ripple effect, spreading kindness and compassion throughout your community. As Sam prepares to speak with Jake, he embodies this essence of peacemaking, a willingness to face discomfort in order to foster connection. Reflect on how you can adopt this mindset in your daily interactions. Maybe there's someone at school who feels isolated or a colleague who seems overwhelmed. Could you take the time today to offer support? It's crucial to remember that vulnerability is not a weakness, it's a strength that opens doors for healing. When you share your feelings honestly and invite others to share theirs, you create an environment where everyone feels valued and understood. By doing so, you cultivate relationships built on trust and respect. Let's also not forget the importance of practicing self-compassion as we navigate this journey of peacemaking. Change takes time, and sometimes we may stumble along the way. It's okay. What matters is that we keep trying, seeking to embody love and grace in our actions. As we wrap up this moment together, I encourage you to think about one concrete step you can take today towards becoming a peacemaker in your own life. Whether it's making amends with someone you've hurt or simply offering kindness to a stranger, remember that every effort counts. Jesus said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, not just because they bring peace but because they actively work toward building bridges of understanding and compassion among people." Let this truth resonate deeply within you as you embrace your role in creating a more harmonious world, one act of kindness at a time. Together, let's commit to being peacemakers who ignite hope and inspire others around us. As we reach the end of our journey together, let's take a moment to reflect on the powerful message Jesus shared, "Blessed are the peacemakers." These words encapsulate not just a teaching, but a profound promise that those who strive for peace are blessed in ways that transcend mere understanding. It serves as a heartfelt reminder of the vital role we all play in fostering peace in our lives and communities. Consider the story of Sam and Jake. Their journey reminds us that peacemaking is not always easy. It requires courage, vulnerability, and a genuine desire to connect with one another. Just as Sam took steps to mend his friendship despite his fears, each of us has the opportunity to step forward boldly in our own relationships, choosing love over discord and understanding over anger. In a world filled with division and uncertainty, your actions can be transformative. Think about the small choices you can make each day. Whether it's offering a kind word to someone who seems burdened, reaching out to a friend after a misunderstanding, or simply listening with an open heart, these actions matter. They may seem small on their own, but together they create ripples of kindness that can spread far beyond what you can imagine. Jesus' teachings call us not only to be peacemakers in our personal circles but also within our communities. Reflect on how you can contribute positively in larger settings, perhaps by volunteering for local organizations that promote harmony or engaging in conversations that bridge divides. Each effort you make toward understanding fosters an environment where peace can flourish. Let's also remember that being a peacemaker is not about achieving perfection, it's about being persistent and purposeful in your efforts. You will face challenges along the way, times when misunderstandings arise or when negative influences threaten to overshadow your good intentions. In those moments, hold fast to the assurance that every act of kindness counts and contributes to something bigger than yourself. As you move forward from here, I encourage you to take action this week. Choose one specific area in your life where you can embody the spirit of peacemaking. Maybe there's someone you've been wanting to reconnect with or an issue you've been hesitant to address. Don't wait for the perfect moment or until everything feels right, take that step toward reconciliation now. Jesus assures us that when we choose to be peacemakers, we are blessed, not just with happiness but with fulfillment as we help create connections and bridge gaps among people. Let this promise resonate within you as you carry it into your everyday interactions. Together, let us commit ourselves wholeheartedly to being agents of peace in our families, friendships, and communities. Embrace this calling with open arms and watch how even small gestures can lead to profound transformations around you. As we spread light and kindness in a world often clouded by negativity, let's remember, the path of peace is always worth walking. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. May your heart be filled with inspiration as you take these lessons into your life and share them generously with those around you. Remember, every step towards peace matters. Let's embark on this beautiful mission together.